Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome back to ICBM. ICBM is the game where you try to exterminate each other using all sorts of nuclear armaments, whether airdropped, air-launched, ICBMs, submarine-launched ballistic missiles. You can just nuke the shit out of each other. I have been given access to the full game, and this means that I now have access to a bit more settings. So I can go into new game, and over here I can see that we have additional scoring modes. Normally we are running on default, that's the videos that you've seen so far, but you also have survival. Survival scoring mode means you score 10 points for every survivor in your territory. All teams start with 1,000 points and the score can only go down. And finally we have extermination. You score 10 points for every enemy kill, regardless of your own casualties. So basically rack up as many deaths as possible. You also lose points when enemy nukes pollute your territory. I'm going to go with the default settings and I'm going to set it to normal difficulty. What I'm going to be trying this time around is a more turtle-ish solution. So I'm going to take South America and I'm going to set it up with anti-missile ballistic or anti-ballistic missile defense, or ABM. And that will allow me to shoot down both planes and missiles while building up my own nuclear arsenal. I'm not going to go with an airbase, nor any of the carriers, so I'm going to redistribute the points. And get rid of all the nuclear bombs. Right, what I want to do is have good early warning and be able to shoot down enemy planes and missiles. So I'm going to go for the SAM solution first, the SAM technology. I never tried actually mobile SAMs, but I want to turtle up a bit more than having that. Radar would also be useful, especially... well, it can be either way. You got the shortwave radar. This allows short-range operation to be more accurate. At least that's my understanding of it. Long-wave radar is basically detecting. This is the constant tracking radar. This is the spotting radar, shall we say. Now, I don't really feel that I need any or either of those just yet. I am going to go with ABM. The SAM complexes were made at first to defend against strike aircraft, but over time ballistic and winged missiles became #1 priority targets. That's what ABM does. It intercepts ballistic missiles. Now, it's a bit early to have this technology, so I'm not going to pick it just yet. I'm going to try and research this, and in the meanwhile start ramping up production. Oh, actually, no. I am going to research this, so that I don't have to take too much measurements or too much time to research other systems, like the ICBM. Because I'm going to be turtling up in South America and delivering nuclear disaster with the ICBMs. I'm going to have a couple of SAM sites, backed up by a couple of radar sites, and... as opposed to having these things on my border... oh, actually, I can have a load of these. I'm not going to have them on my border too much. I'm going to defend the largest cities. That's the plan. Alright, let's begin. Okay, welcome to the world. It's currently in pretty good condition, but that's probably about to change. Now, my largest cities, Buenos Aires, 13.1 million, Sao Paulo, 10 million. Let's see, I believe over here in the north we have some relatively large cities. Manila is the largest one at 2.16 million. 2.20 actually, Santo Domingo. Oh, Bogota, that needs protecting. The more units or the more population that you lose, the more people, or the more points that the enemy gains, and the more points that you lose. So I'm going to set up a radar site to the north of Lima, and set up a SAM site relatively close by. This, I hope, is going to be able to protect Lima. SAM ranges... yeah, I was worried about that. Sonars. See, this is the SAM range. It should be able to intercept stuff before it hits Lima, unless it's going to come in from the ocean. That's problematic. I'll try and intercept stuff before it hits Bogota. Bogota is one of the largest cities here. And then focus on Sao Paulo and Buenos Aires, because if these get hit, stuff is going to go down really, really quickly. SAM site here. Buenos. Yeah, Buenos is the largest one. Now, in case you're wondering why the hell would you set up a SAM site here? Well, the ICBMs don't care about where your place is. They can fly out from north to south. They can fly out from east to west. So hopefully by having one to the northwest and southeast, I'll be able to cover both ends. And then one near Sao Paulo. And set that up. That leaves me with a good number of radars. Let's set up shortwave and long-range radar so I can... Or long wave. I keep calling them long range, but it's long wave. So I can see what is going on where. What's another large city? Santiago. Santiago might be one of the larger ones at 4.84. Yeah, I think that is the one that needs protecting. So I'll have another one here. And one... let's say if Europe wants to fly around, and same for Africa, they'll do either this or that. So having a radar site somewhere over here would allow me to at least spot those units. Alright, research then. It's going to be ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles, and these will allow me to hit targets pretty much at or beyond visual range. Oh, sorry, definitely beyond visual range, pretty much across the entire planet. As for other weapons, I don't need an airbase, I don't need a carrier. I'm just going to go with, actually with full-on research. Let's set it to 3 times speed and get cracking. Other research that I would like to try out in this particular playthrough is the advanced SAM. This means that it has increased range and speed of missiles and amount of simultaneously acquired and maintained targets. So, in summary, I'll be able to target more, and I'll be targeting at greater range. And then advanced ABM. Substantially increases the range and accuracy of anti-missile defenses. It also increases the amount of simultaneous maintained targets. Now, I'm not sure if you can hear the baby monitor that I have in the background. I hope it's not too obtrusive. I tried to tune the mic to where I can pick it up, but the mic can't. Oh, by the way, I could try allying with one of the other factions. Oh, we found a carrier? Where is that? Over there. Alright. I can probably, with my ICBMs, hit Africa and Europe and North America. How about allying with Australia? Or would that... no. I'm gonna ally with North America. To try and not get hit by those guys.
Alliance formed.
Okay, they accepted. Immediately the AI starts to form alliances.
Alliance formed.
Yes, West Asia, you're welcome to join.
Formed.
Yes, 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 yes. So now we got a 3-3 and a 2. This means I only need to hit, or I don't need to hit West Asia and North America. And we're sharing research. This is all the better. Now, I don't know how long exactly this is going to maintain. This relationship is shaky. As we've seen in the previous playthrough, where I decided to take US air power, they at some point decided to stab me in the back. And they decided that it was my time to go. And just nuke the shit out of me all of a sudden. Alright, new technology, MRBM, medium-range ballistic missiles. And that allows me to then also build new vehicles. No, not yet. Not yet. I would need to build... where is it? Here, missile vehicle. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stick with the ICBMs. And then potentially heavy rockets, which will allow me to use 10 megaton ICBMs. But as you can see, it's going to take me an hour to research that. Of course, that does keep ticking down because ICBMs is a prerequisite. Other research that you can do to further boost the capabilities of your ICBMs is the Thermonuclear Bomb, which leads to the Megaton Bomb, but also to the MIRVs. MIRVs are multiple independent re-entry vehicles, and this means that instead of having one big warhead, You get a few smaller ones which split out, and these, as they state in the tooltip, such missiles have unofficially been called city killers. Because this thing splits into several different warheads, which makes them more difficult to detect and to shoot down. And that means more damage. We also have false warheads, which means it's even more difficult to try and figure out which one is the actual warhead. So shooting them down is going to be even more difficult. As it says, it overwhelms the ABM, or anti-ballistic missile defenses, and decreases the risk of warheads being shot down. I don't know if I'll be able to research this, because it's going to take me a long time to get there. It is possible, but probably not for a while. Especially as I also have to start investing a bit of production into building missile silos once the ICBM research is done. Let's go to maximum speed. There we go. Now, let's start with a bit of... Hold on a minute. Enemy fighter of South Africa detected. Really? Several, in fact. That's quite a stretch from Africa. It's quite the distance indeed. Alright, production. Let's go for missile silos. Let's go 70-30. It's going to take me 13 minutes. And in the meanwhile, we are researching bigger nuclear bombs, which, unfortunately, I won't really have any use for because I have no way to deliver them. But I do really want to get the heavy rockets. A 10 megaton ICBM hits so much harder than the standard megaton ICBM. New technology done, a thermonuclear bomb. Carry on. So far, it looks like people have not yet begun shooting the shit out of each other. But of course, you don't know how long that's going to stay that way. What are my allies doing? North America is building SSBNs. Oh, nice. And who's my other ally? East Asia? West Asia. Close enough. West Asia, what are you doing? West Asia. Here. Also SSBNs. Okay. There we go. I now have access to SSBNs. Thank you, gentlemen, for sharing. Now this is just the quiet before the storm. I can guarantee you that stuff is going to be happening very soon. Ah, we have space radar. Space radar is a technology that allows you to spot enemy satellites. The first step is to spot them. Let me draw it up. Here we go. Space radar. The first step is to spot them. The next step is to shoot them down with an ASAT, or anti-satellite weapon. You can do this with an underground missile silo, a mobile ICBM launcher, or a cruiser. It does require a space radar to detect a satellite and guide the missile. In a playthrough that I did with the guys online, I decided to go full satellites at the start of the game, so I had perfect information about everybody else. The problem was that people started spotting my satellites. And when they did that, they started building anti-satellite technology. So what quickly evolved was that everybody started building space radars, everybody started building anti-satellite weapons, and soon you saw cruisers popping up, missile silos, and it proved to be pretty damn difficult to actually get any sort of spotting from a satellite operational. It is not entirely impossible to maintain it, so long as you're able to strike the platform, or platforms, that can actively shoot down your satellites, such as the mobile missile platforms, the underground missile silos, and the cruisers. Of course, mobile units, such as the cruiser and the mobile missile launcher, are harder to nail down, because, as the term implies, they're mobile. Whereas a missile silo, well, you can sometimes spot a launch, and you can sometimes figure out, aha, there's a missile silo, let's say, just east of Paris. And I'm just going to hit that particular site. Now, let's have a look. Boosted fission weapon is done. That is the second step. Here we go. This allows 50 megaton bombs. Once again, I have no way of delivering those 50 megaton bombs, but these things are gonna get quite close now. Only 26 minutes left. Alright, my missile silo. This blue circle that you have around it, I believe, implies the minimum range. So, well, that shouldn't be too much of a problem. And then you have the larger circle around it, and that tells you exactly to where I can strike. So I'm going to set this thing up somewhere towards the, let's say, the more eastern frontier. And with that, I can then hit the entirety of Africa. I can hit the entirety of Europe. I can hit my, well, currently ally, US. But I cannot hit Pacific or West Asia. Oh, sorry, East Asia. I can hit some parts of West Asia, but then again, on paper, they're my allies. Now, this is what tends to happen, by the way, if you have a more turtle-like playthrough. It's not that exciting early on, but later on it can allow you to deal some serious blows. Ah, we got over-the-horizon radar. Good moment to talk about that one. The over-the-horizon radar allows early warning. This is one of those huge radar sites that you can sometimes see. What happens with these things is that they can spot missiles, so ballistic missiles, early. For what I understand about it, they cannot detect planes. They're not a system that allows you to detect planes, but they can get a bit of early warning for ballistic missiles, so that maybe you can, well, prepare a SAM site if you still happen to have one standing by. Alright, that one's done. I'm going to set that one up over here. I'm still building a third missile silo. Now, as I'm waiting, let's prepare a strike plan to deal with Africa. Yes, exclude my allies. Just Africa, I'm going to hit the cities. I can already start, and I'll be striking Lagos and Kinshasa, which currently seem to have full population. Oh, we have a destroyer off our shores. See, this is the reason why I didn't place my radar site very close to the shoreline, because these things can shoot your radar sites and destroy them. Right now, this destroyer poses absolutely no risk. I don't have to go after it, because it doesn't have any way of hitting my positions. Now, let's go with a few more defensive units. I want another radar site, I want an over-the-horizon radar, and another SAM site. That should keep my production labs busy for another 30 minutes. Once the heavy rockets are done, it is then time to go for the Advanced Ballistic Missile Defense, or Advanced ABM. New missile silo ready to deploy. Very good. We shall do that more to the north. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, because if the basket gets nuked, all your eggs are gone. And I know that's a bit of a weird resemblance, but I hope you take the point. Now, these things have 1 megaton ICBMs, which is not really something that I want to use. Oh, hello. Oh, see, this is an updated American destroyer. This one, that I know of, only has 2 weapon systems, torpedoes and missiles. The US has improved missiles. I think improved SAMs as well. And I'm not exactly sure what that last icon is. Maybe cruise missiles. Maybe it's cruise missiles. Yeah, I think it's something like that. Alright, here we go. Heavy rockets are ready.
Complete.
This means that I can now build those things. So I have the MRBMs, that's not what I want. Megaton ICBM, 10 megaton ICBM. Let's get 5 of those ready. Now, one problem that I do have is that I currently cannot really see what the other guys are doing. The only really good way that I have to gain intelligence is to just see what my allies are up to and to use their radar assets insofar as they have any. Beyond that, I have no intelligence gathering. I have no satellites. I have no way of knowing what the enemy is up to. So that puts me at a bit of a disadvantage. Ah, this one starts with a 10 megaton ICBM now. And these ones still have the standard ones. Next up, another radar site. Let's see, where is my radar coverage not sufficient yet? I'd say to the northeast. Here. And again, this is not so much to try and spot enemy planes or ships, but much more so to try and spot enemy ballistic missiles, and then have SAM sites ready to take those things down. First, I'm building another over-the-horizon radar. Well, another, I mean my first. And that will allow me to spot those things even sooner. It will not, for example, update the position of the carrier, because you can spot missiles over the horizon, but you cannot spot any kind of shipping. Because they're literally over the horizon, but because of the curvature of the Earth, you cannot really do much about it. Alright, I have advanced anti-ballistic missile defenses. I'm going to switch to a bit more production now. And let's see. We're going to queue improved shortwave radar. And I'm going to queue improved longwave radar. And that should allow me a bit more information. There we go. Now this thing can spot a hell of a lot. Let's see. Ideally I'd have one in the east and one in the west, but I'm not sure if that's viable. I'm first going to go and protect my larger cities. So I'm going to put it over there to bolster the defenses. Now this thing has an over-the-horizon radar range of 5,000, which will allow it a bit more warning or a bit more information about when and where the missiles are going to come from. Let's say that there is indeed a threat over here. I have a SAM site there, there, and not yet near Santiago. So let's put one over there. Now, after the SAM sites are done, it's time to go for the megaton ICBMs. I'm not sure if I'm going to be getting any shots off this episode, this part of this playthrough, but maybe just before I close it off, around the 30-minute mark.
Research complete.
Shortwave radar complete. And we're starting to get our first 10 megaton ICBMs. We also gained cruise missiles, courtesy of one of my allies. Not that I'll be using them. Not this playthrough. Now keep in mind that I'm gaining the research from my allies, but that party works both ways. Not only do I gain radar and, for example, space radar, over-the-horizon stuff, cruise missiles, so do they. They gain my technology as well. So there is an opportunity for them to start hitting me with 10 megaton ICBMs if they wanted to. Let's go with advanced shortwave radar and then advanced longwave radar. Increases the operating radius of longwave radar. Destroyer not found at his last location. Okay, great. I don't really care about that. Now I have 4 megaton ICBMs. There we go. 5 megaton, 10 ton megaton. 5 10 megaton ICBMs already. And I can increase the size of these things now. There we go. 10 megaton. 10 megaton. And 10 megaton. If I now execute this strike plan, I'm going to be hitting Lagos, Alcaria, Kinshasa and Kampala from my eastern neighbor, Africa. Surprisingly, over about 2 hours almost, nobody has fired any kind of nuclear shots. Yet. Emphasis yet, because I don't really expect that to last too much longer. New missile silo ready for deployment. Alright, let's have another one over there. That one is immediately going to get tied into the plan, and we now have 2 missiles striking Lagos. I don't think that there'll be too much left of Lagos by the time that those things actually arrive. Let's set up a couple more... actually, I want a space radar again, and I want a few more SAM sites. We have SAM sites 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The eastern line is not heavily protected. There we go. That's a bit better. Long-wave radars coming online.
Research complete.
No research currently. It looks like I'm going to complete a lot of the tech tree. But that means not just me. So will the other guys. And that is dangerous. These are tactical nuclear weapons, SRBMs, submarine, no, short-range ballistic missiles. Let's go for the advanced SAM next. Okay, new radar site ready. Put that down at the southern tip of South America, because they might very well fly over the South Pole. That is entirely possible. Oh, it looks like I can hit parts of Australia. Tempting. Now, I think it is just about time to start sending out some gifts. 1, 2, 3. I have 5 missile silos, correct? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I have a few more of those things standing by, let's queue that thing up fast. The long wave radar, sorry, over the horizon radar here. Very, very heavy on the turtle today. Queue these things up faster. Another SAM site. Let's say about here. Actually, how big is that? Maracaibo's bigger. Once I have 5 ICBM, or yeah, 5 megatons standing by, I'm going to launch it. So we are about to strike Africa. Execute Plan Alpha.
Strike plan.
This is going to deliver a lot of nuclear death. 1, 2. Some are snoozing because they all want the missiles to arrive at the same time. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And 5. All missiles are now airborne, and they're all going to be hitting at the same time. This is really going to cause a lot of destruction, and with that, a lot of points. Let's see. Kampala, 6.71 million. Now 3.57. Lagos, 2.3 million. Kinshasa, 4.11. Al-Kahira, 4.08. Nuclear threat detected. We have a counterattack from Africa. Now, fortunately, I have ways to immediately strike their silos, because I now know where they are. So I'm going to launch the shorter, or the smaller ICBMs. I'm going to target that one. We still have a few more. I really hope that those anti-missile defenses of mine are going to be sufficient. Because if not, then I'm going to take a lot of casualties very, very soon. Oh, you only have a 10-ton. You still have a standard megaton. Or, no, you're already striking that one. 1, 2, 3. I had another one. Here. Yeah, these two are newer. They only have 10 tons. Fine. We'll take a 10-ton and take that one out. Alright, and here comes the test. Nuclear threats are on the way. That's the missiles. Can I intercept? Another one. This is probably courtesy of that over-the-horizon radar, which is now actively tracking this megaton ICBM. Which means that they're relatively small missiles, as opposed to what I was sending their way. But there are a lot of them. Good lord. That is a serious amount of missiles. These things I might be able to strike at the same time. And by doing so, just eliminate both of those silos at the same time. Alright, here goes. Hey, we took one out. One nuclear threat less. Come on, my missile defenses. Perform as advertised, please. Sao Paulo batteries returning fire. Shooting down the missile. Buenos Aires. Shoot. Kill. Alright, that's another missile kill. This one is probably gonna hit. Oof. Buenos Aires, 2.9 million dead. Sao Paulo might be next. And it looks like they're also trying to return fire against one of my silos. Unless... No, they might hit Lima. Sao Paulo is hit. Missile hit. Not intercepted. New SAM site ready to deploy. Haha. It's a bit late, don't you think? Still, I'll take another SAM site if you have them. It looks like I was able to defeat quite a few of their missiles. Because, sure enough, they did some damage. I did lose some population, but not as much as I could have had. Also, Africa lost a hell of a lot more. And
a city has been bombed.
Yeah, that's Lima, 1.8 million. I'm still waiting for my missile strikes to go. Go to nuclear war mode. This is the retaliation strike against their silos. There's another one over there. Okay, who still has a missile? You? No. You still have a missile. Get rid of that silo. Gone. Gone. Incoming. Gone. 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 Both gone. It looks like there are quite a few on the way. Intercepted. Hit. Ooh. Salvador and Sierra have both been hit. Get it! No! Brasilia. And this one's going for Lima. But gets... No, does not get intercepted.
A city has been bombed.
And Buenos Aires. This whole turtle strategy is not quite as effective as I had hoped. Still, I'm, well, at a pretty decent score. I have 84% of my population alive, as opposed to Africa with 77. Now, more on this in the next episode, which will be up tomorrow. I feel like Africa has been mostly neutralized. Not entirely. And this other silo needs to go. Still, it's going to take Africa quite a while to come back from this. So, our first skirmish with Africa did take quite some lives out of South America, but not as many as it could have been. So, join me tomorrow. Don't forget to subscribe to watch tomorrow's episode. Hit the bell icon if you want to be notified of the video as soon as it gets launched. And if you like what you're seeing, keep an eye on the game, because it'll be free from October 7th through October 13th, which is the Steam Autumn Summer, or the Steam Autumn Festival. Link down below in the description. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you tomorrow for more nuclear mayhem.